Well, hello, everybody. I think my voice has gone live here. We're going to be starting the show here pretty soon. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the show to start, I'm going to play something I made for you guys, made for myself, actually. And then I decided I would share it with everybody else. So I made this the other day. It's the top 5 books that I have read for business. I'm going to go ahead and play that before we start the show because I'm a little bit early. So we're going to go start this. Now, hopefully this will work correctly. I just programmed this in. So let's give it a try. We've still got about 10 minutes or so before showtime. I think I'm going to have to do some changing here. Hold on just a second.
Top 5 books for business. These are the books that I have found most influential in running and growing my business. Keywebco.com. Number 5. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Written in the 6th century BC, Sun Tzu's The Art of War is still used as a book of military strategy today. Napoleon, Mao Zedong, General Vo Wenjiap and General Douglas MacArthur all claim to have drawn inspiration from it. And beyond the world of war, business and management gurus have also applied Sun Tzu's ideas to office politics and corporate strategy. Number 4. Business Adventures by John Brooks. What did the $350 million Ford Motor Company disaster known as the Edsel, the fast and incredible rise of Xerox, and the unbelievable scandals at General Electric and Texas Gulf Sulphur have in common? Each is an example of how an iconic company was defined by a particular moment of fame or notoriety. These notable and fascinating accounts are as relevant today to understanding the intricacies of corporate life as they were when the events happened. Note, Bill Gates wrote in his blog, Gaddis Notes, Gates writes that more than 4 decades after it was first published, Business Adventures remains the best business book he's ever read. Number 3. The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. The greatest investment advisor of the 20th century, Benjamin Graham, taught and inspired people worldwide. Graham's philosophy of value investing, which shields investors from substantial error and teaches them to develop long-term strategies, has made The Intelligent Investor the stock market Bible ever since its original publication in 1949. Note, Warren Buffett refers to The Intelligent Investor as the best book on investing ever written. Number 2. The Innovator's Dilemma, the revolutionary book that will change the way you do business by Clayton M. Christensen. Offering both successes and failures from leading companies as a guide, The Innovator's Dilemma gives you a set of rules for capitalizing on the phenomenon of disruptive innovation. Note, Steve Jobs used this book as an explanation for one reason Apple needed to embrace cloud computing and is frequently associated with both Jobs and Jeff Bezos. Number 1. The Outsiders, 8 Unconventional CEOs and Their Radically Rational Blueprint for Success by William N. Thorndike. What makes a successful CEO? Most people call to mind a familiar definition, a seasoned manager with deep industry expertise. Others might point to the qualities of today's so-called celebrity CEOs, charisma, virtuoso communication skills, and a confident management style. But what really matters when you run an organization? What is the hallmark of exceptional CEO performance? Quite simply, it is the returns for the shareholders of that company over the long term. Note, The Outsiders was number 1 on Warren Buffett's recommended reading list in the Berkshire Hathaway Annual Shareholder Letter.
All righty, we're going to be starting here in just a minute. I just wanted to play that little top 5 video I created the other day. First time I'd ever made one of those, so I thought it was kind of cool. What doing Q and R? Yes, we're going to do question and answers today too. Our topic today is blogs, but we haven't quite started yet. We're going to go ahead and start that countdown. We're going to get this ball rolling here. Alrighty, everybody. I think I've got all my settings correct. Yeah, it looks like we're streaming all right. Yeah, I see the countdown feeding into Facebook. There's a big delay between what I'm filming. Oh, I forgot to change my subscriber goal. We have 73 subscribers. By the way, today's show is about blogging. We'll get to that in just a minute. We're going to hang in here. A cycling blog. Oh, excellent. Bicycling blog. That is a good one. That's a good one. All right, we're going to get started here on this blog topic pretty quick here. I have a tendency to watch the watch the computer instead of the camera. So you're going to notice it always looks like I'm looking here because I am instead of the camera like I'm supposed to be doing. All right, well, today we're going to get moving right along here today. Today, our topic of discussion and what we're going to be covering is blogging. Now, blogging, even though we're going to talk about blogging, I have a little presentation I'm going to do in a few minutes. And it's this whole video, and I just read, I don't read, I talk through the whole thing. It takes a while to get through, not too long, about 10 minutes maybe a little less. And the video is going to play, and I'm going to talk about some of it. There's too much for me to actually tell you every little thing you need to know about blogging. So I've created an app. I don't see my moderator in yet. I don't know if she's in here yet. I'm a little early. But if I don't get the links in during the actual video presentation that I'm going to do, I'll get the links into you after it's over. Man, I am still, no, the wrong way. I am still not good with the reverse camera thing. My hair's a mess. I just got out of the shower. I did not really have time to get ready today, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go with my hair all flipped all over the place. Well, I'm kind of lollygagging a little bit because I hate to start my little video presentation thing before the moderator's in here because I don't have all the links memorized. If the moderator makes it in here and drops the links in as we're going through, great. If not, I will put the links in here after we're in like chat mode after this presentation. I always have to do these presentations kind of straightforward because if I get interrupted too many times, I'll lose my train of thought and then I won't be able to teach anything. So, like I said, today I'm lollygagging just a little bit. We're going to talk about blogging. Now, blogs, they're an industry on their own. But there's many uses for blogs, and we're going to talk about that in detail when the little video goes through. But I just want to let everyone know, in the new eBay, the way the search works, the way people find your items, you really need some sort of content to draw people in. Products won't do it. Products won't do it. Blogging is probably the most powerful tool to do that. How do I explain it before we get into the video so it makes sense? One of the things I'm going to briefly talk about in the video is where you blog. I don't want you to get confused because the video is designed for people that are going to do like the Google AdSense. They're going to get their money from click-throughs, not necessarily affiliate links, not necessarily selling their eBay items. If you're selling your eBay items, I'm telling you this before the thing starts so you understand better. If you're selling eBay items, I did blogs for years on a free site without even being able to embed anything. You can put a link, you can put a picture, they click the link, they go to what you want. You can do all that for free. Now, this is designed for more of a professional blogger. So I'll talk about things that will apply to everybody, but some of them, when it comes to like having a cPanel and things like that, I don't even use that. And I have 3 blogs running. So I'm telling you, you can do it for free. Now, I do pay for my blog service, the website that I blog on besides my Shopify site, because I do all kinds of apps and stuff. So before the video starts, and I'm going to start it in just a minute. Before it starts, I want you to understand there's 2 methods into which I'm describing. The reason it says have your blog on WordPress is when I do blogs, all my blogs will end up on WordPress. I don't blog there. And we'll talk about that in the video. So it's going to say get a WordPress blog. And even if you don't blog on WordPress, you're going to get a free one. There's one that you pay for, and there's a free one. So just know before we start, if I talk about needing a cPanel and all that, that is not WordPress.com. That is your domain on WordPress that you pay for. Okay? It's expensive, it's complicated. If you're just feeding things to WordPress.com, that's 100% free. And that's the presence that I have on WordPress. Most of my traffic is not WordPress traffic, but I do get it, and it doesn't take any work at all to feed it there. But we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, well, I am going to peek down here into my group chat and see. Yeah, my moderator is on her way. She's like rushing to get her. It's very difficult for her to make it on time because she has a very busy office. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go. There's a lot of apps and links that I'm going to give you probably later on, maybe in the chat window after my presentation. So let's get this presentation thing out of the way. You're going to enjoy it, though, because even if you're not going to blog, which you really should, no matter what you're doing, you should be blogging. But even if you're not going to blog, in the middle of it, I talk about what your website needs and what your business needs for Google search. So there will be value in it, even if you decide not to blog. So let's see how this video I created works. Let's see if I can get it going and if it's actually going to work. All right, now this video is going to run through and we're going to just chit chat as it goes through. It's about blogging today. I am Helpful Tips, eCom Tips Podcast, and Keywebco.com in a big long list. All right, first thing you do when you set up a blog is you have to have a niche. Now, what is a niche? It's your swag. It's what you've got that you can offer somebody that nobody else can, or offer someone something better than anyone else can, faster, whatever the reason is. Or maybe you're more knowledgeable than the other people selling those products. Doesn't matter what your niche is, but you've got to have a niche in product, in blog. Doesn't matter. All of these things apply to every business. You have to choose a blogging platform. Now, that's a little bit about what I was talking about before. I use free platforms. I don't believe in paying for stuff that you can do for free. But it's very important that you look at your business and choose a blogging platform that will suffice for what you need. If you're going to run Google AdSense, you need a blogging platform that will support that heavy HTML activity. So you'll have to do a little research. But once you find your blogging platform, you can pretty much tell what you're going to do. And after that, you have to get a domain. Oh, goodness, I didn't line that up quite right. And I call that dropping the beat. A domain, like mine is keywebco.com. Obviously, my business is Keywebco. However, a domain needs to be easily rememberable. Now, it doesn't really necessarily have to be your business. If you're running a small microsite and you want to assign a domain to your blog, let's say it's about birdhouses, you pick a domain that people will remember. It doesn't have to be your business. It has to be something to come up in search. Now, this is what I was talking about the web hosting. Some sites, you have to have web hosting. I use Strikingly. I don't need web hosting. I can assign a domain, they host it. I embed the links within their site. It costs me $200 a year for that. But I don't have to have a cPanel or anything else. If you're going to be on WordPress, not the WordPress that I send you to, but the WordPress that you actually blog on and pay for, you will need a cPanel. Then you're going to start your blog no matter where it is, but you need to get it on WordPress. There is something to be said about being on the platform that was founded for bloggers. Even though I told you we're going to use the free WordPress, keywebco.com. My blog over there, I believe, is keywebcoblogs.wordpress.com. And that is 100% free. It's not overly attractive because I don't pay any money. My embedded sites, the stuff that I'm able to embed stuff in, goes there, and normally it's just a link. You need to find the right theme for not only your blog, but your logo, your business, and make sure that carries over into social media and everywhere else. And the right design for your blog. If you're selling something on eBay and you want people to actually click items, you need to design a blog that the writing and the imagery funnel into a single click item. If you're writing a blog that you want people just to click and stay on your site for a long time, that's Google AdSense. You want all those big long columns and distractions. You don't want them to be able to go down the blog. Write content and promote your blog. This is the absolute most important thing that any business does. And I don't care if it's just blogging, I'm talking about selling stuff too. You need to have content to draw them in, either on your social media page or on your blog, like we're talking about today. Your content needs to be memorable. It needs to be original. You can copy things from other places if you credit them correctly, but you don't want to do too much of that. And you also want to make sure that any of the embeds or images you use are linked back. Now, the most important stuff is how to make money blogging. Everyone wants to know that. Now, you saw that little flash at the bottom there. I have my Keywebco affiliate program. You can look that up. Those links should be getting in here, but I'll do the links later. You guys are going to have to get the links out of comments instead of the live feed. Moderator hasn't made it yet. And I'm starting on time. So, but there are many ways to make money with blogging. You need to think about what you are going to do. What is going to sell in your blog? If you're talking about birdhouses, how are you going to get that moved? This is what happens when you publish a blog or a post, but mostly in particular a blog. We can go through this fairly quickly. I think this video runs through pretty quick. There's a little delay because I put them all the same length here, and this one I could go through quicker. So we're taking a little break waiting for this thing to change. But this is what happens when a blog is published. There's a lot of things that happen when you actually produce a blog. A blog is a publication, guys. It's a online digital publication. All right, it appears at the top of your blog's homepage. Now, why does that matter? Just like if you're selling on eBay, you list a new item, theoretically, it comes up in the top of the search for a little bit before it drops down. Now, that's not actually true anymore. Kind of is. Because it's being indexed, it's easier to find. So, you create a post in your blog, no matter what site you're using, and that blog post is always the newest one that appears at the top of your homepage. I should have sped that one along a little bit. Blogging software adds the post. Oh, wait. Blogging software adds the post to your blog's, I can't read that, archive. Oh, okay. Basically, what that's saying is, and then it gets read again when the bots come back. When you write a blog post, let's say it's about fidget spinners. Okay. You're writing a blog post about fidget spinners. It gets indexed and archived. Archived is a way that when it comes back and it's looking to see what your site has, the keywords are archived from that blog. So it definitely will help you. We're getting a little choppy and thing. I can't read that. I don't even know what this next one says. I really can't read that. I'm serious. I'm not going to stick my face up in there with you guys up in there. Let me see if I can angle it. No. That did not come through very well. I don't know how it's appearing on your screen, but that text I can't read. I must have not had that in focus. Basically, it's talking about indexing there. All right, now customer emails. That is how you communicate with your blog. So you need to have that in there. Here's some tips. Now you can read through these. Your software gets pinged by the search engines, and the search engines come back to your blog later anytime it's opened again, and then they index it. Every time someone comes back and reads your blog, it indexes it and archives it more. So it becomes more relevant information in search. Doesn't necessarily, unless you really want people to read your blogs, that's not why that's important. Why that's important is the content that's in your blogs that you want them to click. So every time that gets indexed, you get known by it. That's, again, every time it comes back, it indexes and archives more. So the more traffic you can get to your blog, the better. And how do you do that? Good content. All right, we talked about the web indexer there. I've got this little spam notification I can't get rid of. Every show, you'll hear that. I don't know why it comes in here. I click it off every time. So your blogs are going to get indexed. That's important because those keywords that are in your blog is we're getting them found. Another one I can't read. When adding a hyperlink. Okay, when you're adding any kind of linking, if you're putting a YouTube video in your blog, if you're putting a link to your eBay store in your blog, make sure that the linking goes to open in a new window. I don't know why half these blog sites set it to not do that. Every time someone clicks a button, have it open in a new window. If you have it open in the same window after they click that, you'll never see them again. All right. I can't read that either. It's still focusing. That's a. I really should have done this text differently, I guess. I will not do it small like that next time. I can't read it. You guys can probably read that. But these are just tips about blogging. Okay, we're almost done with this. I'm not really sure what that's talking about. I'm sure it's talking about crediting links back. I wrote all this, but I don't remember what it was. I've been real busy today. So, what I'm rambling on about is your website. Here we go. That's what it is. That's why I didn't know what it is. Your website and your blog need to be the same. Your blog needs a home page or an about section. What you include in your homepage, where they first land is they want to know who you are and why they are wasting their time looking at your stuff. If you don't get their attention on your homepage or when they first click to your blogs, you will never see them again. They want to know all about you. Every blog that you have needs to have some sort of clickable link or some sort of about me section. Most of them are built in. If you're doing it on your website, you have to write it yourself. Um, I can't read what that says either. What you're about, I think is what that is, or what to. Oh no, this says what to include in your site. We're going to go into what to include. Services. You need to talk about your services. If you are writing a blog article and you want them to buy a website, you need to tell them that you sell websites. Sounds like common knowledge, but people don't do it. You need a synopsis presentation, is what this is telling you. And yes, even in a single article, you kind of do that, even in a single article. Now, I'm talking about your whole blog site here. That's what this information is here. You can read these. I don't need to read these out to you. These are all the common things that you need to have on a website. And all this is in an app that I'm going to give you. I'm going to wait till after the video before I go digging in the phone. This is telling you more what to include in all of these different sections. I included this because I wanted people to understand that a blog is just like a landing page or a website or anything else. Your facts, that is not so much in your blog, except for at the bottom, you kind of give links to your other places. Also, if your blog is like who the person that was talking about doing the bicycle shop, they want to talk shop talk. So your facts and shop talk on a blog are kind of combined. On a website, you have them separately. So before you spend 30 minutes reading an article about bicycles, you need to have shop talk, meaning before they get too deep into your article, you need to interject into what you're talking about, why your shop is talking about this topic. It's important to keep looping your subjects in a blog. This is more stuff that you should need to include in a website. This is probably contact, I would imagine, coming up next. Contact, yes. As I said earlier, this is, of course, a repeat of what you need to have in a website. It's the same for a blog, so I included it so you can see this. Contact needs to be anything. Contact can be even getting them to go to another store and contact you, but I highly recommend that you have a phone number, you have an email, or you use Facebook Messenger. And I love using Facebook Messenger. I wish it was better and easier to integrate. Of course, it tells you on a website you need to have a blog. Common sense. We're talking about blogs, but it mentions it in your website. Blog is the most powerful tool that you've got, guys. I mean, I'm serious. There's nothing that is going to come up and better in SEO to sell your products, to do whatever you need to do than a blog. I mean, it just makes everything come up. All right. You need to have policies, that kind of stuff. If you have affiliate links in your blog, your policies and procedures need to have that you are selling affiliate links. This tells you what to have in those policies. You can read that at your leisure. That's just standard knowledge. Anything that you put out, you need to have where it comes from. If you are using images, use Pixabay. Pixabay is copyright free. You don't get in trouble for not putting the links, but you should put the link for every picture where it came from. Do not go to Google and download a picture. Blogs lead to podcasts. Podcasts would be the first thing that makes you money in a blog. You can copy a blog, make a podcast. You can put apps in you that you create yourself in your blogs. My Recipe for You app gets lots of clicks. People come back to my blog to find the app. The only limit you have on doing your blog is yourself. How many hours are you willing to dedicate to it? What are you going to do to make it better? You can learn everything you need to learn pretty much on how to do things either at keywebco.com, that's me, or you can look on YouTube. These are some topics for blogs. These are actually websites that I can create for you. If you want a website about toys and you want a blog, I can make it for you. Lawn and garden. These are great subjects for you guys to use. Make sure as you see these images moving, you see there's action. Make sure if you're going to put an image in your blog that's the first thing they see, make it moving. Make it something interesting. All right. Well, that was my little presentation. We zipped right through that. I did okay, considering I couldn't see half of what was written up there. And I was just trying to remember it. So, hey, Perfect Vibes, you made it. Awesome. We started a little early and we just zipped through my little blogging window. If you would do me a solid and just grab every single link you can think of that goes along with blogs that I sent over there in messages today, you can also include some of the app links and all that other stuff that I made today. Just drop those links in there. The most important one, thank you, the most important information that you need for today's show. My moderator will get it, but I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the links. I'm going to grab the link that I created for the show today. If I can find it real quick. That's the Flipboard. Here we go. I found it. I created an app just for you with that information that I couldn't read on the screen. I'm just going to give you the link for that. We're going to stick that on Facebook right now. So if you want to, yeah, put the other links. I'm going to give them the app for the blog today. All righty, here we go. We're almost done here where I can give you that link. I've got to get out of my chats. Now, blogs are really important, guys. I mean, there is mega money to be made, too. You know, I didn't really spend much time on, like, the advertisement links and all that other stuff that you can put in there. Oh, crap. I closed my own window. I closed my own podcast. Here we go. Or my own show. Let me get this link in there for you. Okay. I'm sorry about the numbers. Oh, both of us did it. She did it on YouTube, and I did it on Facebook. Let me label that. Blog app. What's above there is the blog app. Both of those are. You can put all other kinds of apps in there, the helpful tips stuff, and if you want to give them the Flipboard with all my apps. I just finished making. Oh, I could give you that. I just finished making a page on my website. I did a multiple page website on Strikingly, which I haven't done in many, many years. I've always kept everything single page. But I knew that I would have way too much stuff embedded to make this blog or my app page. That's another thing you also have to watch. Don't embed too much. Your stuff will slow down. No one will wait. But I knew that my blog page would weigh down my site way too much. So I gave it a page by itself, which gives it its own ULR. So the only weight on that page is the actual embeds themselves. But that's probably coming up in here eventually. But I have a page that I made on my Strikingly Keywebco. Keywebco. Oh, by the way, they changed my ULR. You can get there with the old one, but the new ULR for my personal website, this is the first place I made blogs, is keywebco.mystrikingly.com. It used to be just keywebco.strikingly.com. Either one will get you there. But they changed my domain today because I added another page. So they wanted it more specific. So if you get a chance to look at that, you'll see all of the apps, everything in there. that I have made that is public. Now I work on these all the time. You will find a few things that you click and the link might not work, but that would be very, very, very rare. Oh yeah, there's my eBay fans app. You might like that. If you are going to sell on eBay, my blogs are in there as well. If you're going to sell on eBay, my eBay fans app has a lot of useful information on there. And that is my Keywebco app coming through there too. There's tons of information available on every topic imaginable. Uh, I need to figure out, I think next week, or not next week, in 2 days, my next show is on Thursday. I think I'm going to maybe change some of this little chat thing, and I'm going to put a big long strip that will have the topics of all of my shows for the month. If you want to find out what my shows are going to be about for the entire next 30 days, I just got those up today. You can find those at Helpful Tips on Facebook, the Helpful Tips group on Facebook. So go check that out. Um, if you want to subscribe to my podcast and get into the Helpful Tips Executive Private Chat, which means you get a free website, by the way. That's one of the perks. Um, you would go to that link that she just put up there, the Helpful Tips Strikingly link that should be there, and you will see two places. You can either subscribe for $5 or above a month. This is where I hit you up for money. You can subscribe for $5 up above or a month of my eCom Tips podcast. Send me a private message. You'll get into the private Helpful Tips chat, and you just ask me, and I'll make you a website, no problem. I normally charge $225 to do that, but if you're in my group, I give you one. Uh, the other way that you can subscribe and get into the Helpful Tip Executive Chat is to go to the Patreon link and do the same thing. A minimum of $5 a month. Subscribe, send me a message. I will get you into the Helpful Tips Chat. All right, that's enough of me trying to sell stuff. I really hate trying to sell stuff. All right, do you guys like my new chat window? It's a little different. The chat window that I used to use was the same one that you first saw when you would first come on, the show opener. But I decided I wanted to be able to see the chat a little bit better, not have quite so many distractions, with all those question marks everywhere. So this is how you're going to see me after I do my little spiel. Now, I don't do a video background spiel like what I just did, except on Tuesdays. For example, I'll just go ahead and show you. If we talk about blogs again, this is the screen you'll be seeing. This is how I'd be talking to you about blogs. But when I'm actually teaching and going through a little spiel, you'll see a video with the column in the middle or on the right side, and it will have all the information I'm talking about in it. The blog app that I sent is really, really good. It has all those little steps that I told you, and if you look, there's writing. You can scroll and read all that writing. Basically, that's what I was supposed to say during my show, but I didn't bother to look at the app and read it. Just doing it from memory. I couldn't even read the screen. My vision's all messed up today, guys. I took my medicine. I have a breathing treatment that I took, and I took it a little bit too late, and my vision is always a little blurry after I take it. So my vision is just now getting back to normal where I can read. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's it on the blogging topic. You know what? We're going to go to, hold on. We're going to go over here. I'm going to show you something else. Give me just a minute. I'm not real quick on this stuff. This is what I want to show you. Remember how I was talking about have your niche? Now, at keywebco.com, I sell everything. I mean, if it's created and it's on the planet, I'm a global store. It's shipped from the closest warehouse to you. No matter what it is. And I sell it all. By the time I'm done, I'll be able to sell everything a platform has. So I don't have a niche. My niche is I sell everything. That's very difficult to market. Okay, you have a blogging question? We'll do that before. Well, let's do this recipe thing. Ask the question because your comment is probably going to disappear. But I'm going to do this little recipes for you app. I want you guys to see my little video for that. This is my recipes for you app. Notice there's no chat in here. So this app is the first idea I actually had about combining blogging with my e-commerce business. I was listing cookware, and I had a blog for recipes because I was already blogging in a separate business. But I was listing cookware in my store, and I was talking to my friend Linda, who has Recipes for You group on Facebook, another group I'm in. I like that. And she was saying, you really need a WordPress site. And I started thinking for a minute, and I knew the overhead would be, formidable, but she's hooked me up. She taught me everything I needed to know. By the way, if you need a WordPress site made for you, Linda is who I'll send you to. You need anything else, I'll do it for you. I don't like messing with WordPress. But I was making all these blog posts, recipe after recipe after recipe. At that time, I didn't have that much kitchenware, and I was getting huge traffic. And I'm like, well, I'm getting traffic on the recipes. I only have a little bit of kitchenware. So I started adding more kitchenware, Now I share the recipe blog app around, not the blog, but the app. The app gets more views than my blog itself. Then they take the app. Hold on, I'm trying to find my chat window. It disappeared. Then they take, this is repeating, I know. Then they take the app. Come on. Well, video marketing. We're not going to talk about video marketing, but that screen just popped up. It said, oh, he needs to talk about video marketing. Well, we're not talking about video marketing. We're going back to the live chat. Here we go. Now, of course, all those links disappear, but don't worry about it. They're in the chats on both YouTube. You can watch them, rewind the video if you need those links again. All right, so we're just about done. We're just about done for the day. I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that when you blog, it's not about getting them to read the blog. It's about getting the blog to get read. Do you understand the difference? Nobody's going to find your blog, no matter how good it is, if it is not designed properly. And that, hence, is the point for this show. I wanted you guys to know the steps necessary to write a blog. I didn't tell you how to do your business plan. I didn't tell you what to blog on. I didn't tell you any information like that because nobody can. If someone comes in and says, why don't you blog on this and I'll set you up, it will not help you. The blogs need to come from yourself. The more genuine, the more original the articles, the better people will respond. As soon as a few people start sharing your blog around, Google will pick you up. If you're not stealing images, if you're not just copying someone else's stuff, rewording it a couple words and putting it in your stuff. Now, you can do that and get away with it, but Google already knows it. Trust me, they know what you're doing. The algorithm is mathematical. You cannot deceive mathematics. So make sure that you follow all these tips I've given you today, especially if you want your blog to be successful. You need to always go back to a business plan, no matter what you're doing. Blogging is not just sitting down and writing an article. That is after the fact. You saw that one of the last steps is the creating of the content, even though that is the most important step. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think I've knocked that out pretty quickly today. We did not stay on here a ginormous amount of time. I have been told that these shows should be about 20, 30 minutes. Mine are normally an hour. So we're going to trim it down a little bit. That's why I'm trying to go a little bit quicker. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, this would be the time to ask before we sign off here. I will lollygag on here as long as the questions come in. If I get no questions, we will be out of here pretty darn quick. So if you have any questions about blogging, feel free to ask during the show. If not, you don't have to ask during the show. All you got to do is tag me. If I don't answer, tag me again. If I don't answer, send me a private message. I am very busy and I am hard as heck to get a hold of. The best way to get a hold of me, pay the $5, join my groups. You know I got to try to make that money. All right, now go to my YouTube channel. That is Keywebco if you're over there on Facebook or any of the 9 networks that we stream to worldwide. We are being heard all over the world right now. Of course, most people are asleep in the rest of the world, but that's okay. We're getting up really, really early. I think my VA is getting up right now. So we stream worldwide. Why do we do that? So people will know that I have a blog out there of interest. Now, remember, guys, I was talking about niche. If you're going to blog and you want your website to be found, you need to niche those blogs just like you niche your products. I don't do that because I sell everything. I don't need a niche. My niche is too complicated to get into. It's an algorithmic niche. I manipulate Google to make my stuff come up. It's the only way I've made money all these years. Doesn't matter what I'm selling. I could even sell these and come up in Google. Not on a platform, never find them. But on a website, microsite, blog article, I can get these found because the content gets them found, not the product. And that's my final words on this blogging thing. Remember, it's the quality of the content, the images, the words, what you're teaching, the site that you put it on. That quality is what gets the people to see your items. If you're saying, I sell these, people go, yeah, I don't want one. But if you're saying, hey, I watched my friend, he was sitting there spinning that fidget spinner during his show. Looked like he was having a good time. He was balancing it on his finger and doing tricks. Someone's going to go, hey, what's he talking about doing tricks? That sounds kind of interesting. Oh, it's a fidget spinner. Well, let's see what he's talking about, even if they're not interested. Why? Because you have enticed them with content. And that's what it's about. Blogging is about giving them the content to entice them in, to get them to do whatever you want. If you're blogging on WordPress and you've got embedded Google AdSense and you just need clicks and them to stay on your page, put music videos in the bottom of your page. Put video games, by the way. You can go to keywebco.com. And if you look at some of my pages, not too many, I have awesome video games, Paco embeddable video games. I got stuck playing a video game when I was supposed to be working the other day. So they're really, really good. They're high quality and they are free. So, you know what? If you are selling toys and you're writing a blog, don't think it's not a good idea to embed some games into your blog. Embed some games into your website. You don't have to make money on everything that they click. Alrighty, guys. Well, I guess we got that knocked out. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rattle on and on and on and on today. I do not see any questions coming in. So guess what? It is time to say goodbye. I'm going to leave you with just a few final words like I always do. Always do more. If you don't do more, I will. Someone will. There'll always be someone doing more than you. Once you think you've done everything, you haven't done anything. You need to do some research because trust and believe you will find there is more to do. There is always something more you can do. The person that does the most has the best chance of being successful. Now, speaking about doing something, I want everyone to go to my Facebook channel or my YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook or any of the other networks, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need to get 1,000 people in there. If you do that, all you have to do is send me a PDF label, shipping label, the lightest weight for first class, and I will flop a little, or I will drop a little fidget spinner in there. And if I can weigh them, I might take them out of the box, and you might get two. It depends. Sometimes I mail two with the box is too heavy, but if I take the box off, it'll go that first class weight. If you send a first class shipping label for a priority mail package, guess what, guys? I will put about 10 or 15 fidget spinners in there. I have thousands of these. They were bought by a friend of mine, DeLuna Bags, and I ended up buying their brand when they decided to close on Amazon. So I have more of these. I'm never going to sell them. I'm never going to list them. I am giving them away as a promotion. You pay the shipping, and I will send them to you. Send me a first class lightest package, and I will send you at least one. Send me a priority mail envelope PDF label, which will cost you, what, $5-6, and I will pretty much fill that sucker up with some fidget spinners, and I'll throw a few extra things in there. All that just if you subscribe to my channel. Yes, I'm trying to buy those votes. Plus, I get to write this off. It doesn't really cost me that much money. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to me rattle on and on and on. Make sure you check out all these groups. Make sure you go to keywebco.com. I don't have YouTube sponsorship and I don't have too many subscribers. So the only way I pay for all this is to make sales on my global store. My global store has just been remade. It's got little pop-ups. Look for the discounts on those pop-ups. It will save you a bunch of money. Also, I told you guys about my affiliate stuff. Remember I was talking about blogging. Let's say you are selling bicycles. You've got tricycles, you've got motorcycles, you've got all kinds of bicycles, every kind of bike you can imagine. Maybe your budget is limited. Maybe you can't buy the $48,000 mountain bike. Well, if you want that listed in your store, all you got to do is let Keywebco know. I can get it in my store with the push of a button. Then you grab the affiliate link. You get paid 5% anyone that buys it. Then at the end of the month, you get another 5% bonus paid cash. That's how I do my affiliate program. So check that out. It looks really good on a blog. Have the cheap item. This isn't cheap, but have a cheap item, then have, let's say, a bundle of items, and then have something that's ridiculously expensive. You're not going to want to invest in that ridiculously expensive item, but I can do that. I can have it in my store. I've got items that are $27,000 at keywebco.com. You get 5%, another 5% at the end of the month. So if you're writing a blog and you want to sell the middle range priced item, go to my store, get the cheap one from China, go to my store and get another very expensive item to be the other end, the two sides that you don't want to carry. And then what does that do for your middle product? So what if they don't click on mine and buy mine on either side? They're more likely to buy the product that you've targeted them with. And that's what blogging's about. It's about having them find it by producing the good content and then targeting them with creative words, creative imagery, and what you display. Make sure that it is all relevant to that buyer. All right, guys, that's my little spiel for today about blogging. I don't even know what my show is about next tomorrow, day after tomorrow. I just did a whole schedule of them. I believe it is on setting up social media. What we're going to talk about briefly, well, no, actually, a little bit in depth, is we're going to talk about all the sites that you need to set up. I even have created an app. Imagine that, me create an app. I even created an app that makes that very easy for you. You just go down, click the links on each one. It will tell you how to set up every little thing you need to do. You can get ahead of the game if you want to go look at the keywebco.com. And I actually just put it in the menu. You can go to the keywebco.com, click the menu on the top right. That's that little black box. Scroll all the way down to any of these sites that I've mentioned. You can also scroll all the way down and you can get the apps. I put the website link in there for all of my apps. That's the best way if you want to find out information. You either do a search at keywebco.com and my blog information is embedded in there. It'll come up just along with the products too. So if you want to search, you just search my store just like you would search Google. If you don't want to search my store, you just go to the menu, scroll down to all of my apps, click on those apps. They're all clickable and scrollable. You just hit the things, hit the buttons, everything plays inside. You hit those apps when you see a topic you're interested in. You scroll through, you click each button, and it will tell you what to do. I will have apps for every single show topic that I am doing from this point forward. That is where my time is going. It does not take me that long to handle my store. eBay used to be hundreds of hours. My new store takes me a few hours a day. Uh, well, more than that because I'm still adding hundreds of items. But after I get it filled up and I'm at 6,800 or something listings, I'm going to get 10,000 in there. Then I'm going to take a break for a month. I should have that done hopefully the end of the month, August, the end of August. They limit how many I can do a day now. I'm burning up their servers. So by the end of August, I should have my 10,000 mark. All right. Well, I've rattled on and on and on. Nobody's asked any additional questions. I hope you enjoyed my show tonight. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you liked my little 5 business books at the beginning of the show. You know what? I'm going to run the credits. And then after the credits, I think I'll run my little 5 business books again. All right, guys. I will see you anytime on social media. I stream every day. I will not be on again tonight. I will be going to the hospital again tomorrow. Everything looks pretty good. I go every day. Everything looks pretty good. Should be a pretty much standard day. So I will see everyone again about 8:30 Central Standard Time in the morning tomorrow. And bye for now.